everybody, welcome back to AGP. It's Star Wars Day. Yay! Hey! May the 4th be with you all. What do you mean there's no... I know there's no sound for the intro. I cannot use the sound because YouTube keeps demonetizing it. So it just has to be a video with no sound fuel. I've gone over this with you too many times. Joining me today is the ever-lovable Dadman walking. Hi, Dadman.
Hi, Amanda. How are you doing?
I'm good.
I know. I recognize that dress, though. I recognize the dress, though.
Too short.
Yeah, sounds like the hairdresser took a little bit too off to make it work.
So let me show you guys in case you've never seen it. This is the outfit. And within the outfit, she has the long braid. This is her ceremonial dress from the end of episode. Well, I'm not even going to call it episode 4. From the end of Star Wars, because the first one was called Star Wars. Hi, puppy. And so my hair is too short.
And Han didn't shoot first. He shot. Sorry.
You're right. No, they're saying Han shot first and tells that Greedo took a shot at him in the first place, which never happened in the original theatrical release. Han, who is a bounty hunter, a pirate, a smuggler, or not a bounty hunter, but a pirate.
He's a scoundrel.
He's a pirate. Yeah. That's what he is. That's what he does. He pirates stuff. Shot. Uh-huh. So y'all need to stop this Han shot first thing and start the trend. There was only a solo shot. By the way, I feel those aren't going to work because I don't have it only works if I have OBS open, and I can't use OBS during this. So the sound effects won't work during the podcasts. Sorry.
Yeah, the missus is having that too because she started OBS so she could do Fortnite and trying to learn the ins and outs of what you can and can't do with the OBS, though.
OBS lets you do a lot of things, but when I switch over to StreamYard to do the podcast, it's a completely different thing. Mm-hmm. So today is Star Wars Day. Happy Star Wars Day, Dadman.
Happy Star Wars Day to you.
So Star Wars, a little bitty movie that came out in 1977. Did you get to go see it?
Yes.
You suck.
I was born. Were you born?
2 years later.
Oh, man. I tell you what. I forgot about all the lines, but you see the newspaper articles and stuff with the lines. I saw it twice, but there's only one time that I really remember. And it's at a theater that they tore down so long ago, probably about within 10 years after I watched it. But it's the only movie that I've ever watched in a theater with my mom and dad and his grandparents. That's how big and how special the movie was to me then. And to see it in the theater. And, of course, my grandparents are real life R2-D2 and C-3PO. It was I mean, she's like, don't do that. And he's like, I'm going to do whatever I want to, woman. Watch me roll. And, it's really, really fun to watch them like that. And also the newspapers, those printed things that are sort of around now. We didn't have DVDs. We didn't have VCRs and stuff. It was just like sit there and just stare at that printed newspaper ad to see that Star Wars image. So it really was cool. It was great in the theater. Do I remember much about the actual experience? No, but I remember the theater. I remember kind of the lobby. I remember my grandparents. I just, those are the cool memories that I have with it. When was the first time you ever watched it?
I don't know.
Oh,
as a kid? As a kid on VHS, my whole family. Mm-hmm. My whole family introduced me to Star Wars. By the way, really? I sent you a message on Twitter. So one thing about my family was we were more like a clan than a family. We did everything together. So like when most people go on a family vacation, they mean mom, dad, siblings. When we said we went on a family vacation, it was mom, dad, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents. And it was a convoy going down the highway.
Wow. Well, see, we tried that, but our convoy all split up.
So
like,
with that, we would get together once a year at my granny's house, and we would watch the Star Wars trilogy all the way through when it came out. Now, I do know that I got to go see Empire. I was 1 year old, and my dad has pictures of me sitting on his lap doing this. And that's all I did for the entire movie. And I do remember going to go see Return of the Jedi, which I absolutely loved as a kid because the Ewoks were the cutest damn things ever to be created.
mm-hmm.
Because I don't give a damn who you are. If you grew up around the same time as I did as a kid, Ewoks were fucking cool. If you were some old fuddy duddy who was older than me, you hated them.
Well, I know our friend Stunning likes Jedi, probably the best of the movies.
The
So,
Ewoks were adorbs.
mhm.
Listen, no offense. There was 2 Star Wars cartoons that came out in the 80s. Droids, Star Wars Droids, and the Ewoks. And the Ewoks took off. The
when
Ewoks was better animated. It had music. It was fun. Better toys. Better figures.
boy, and you know the droids, everybody loved the droids. So, I mean, those are two of the classic, iconic. I mean, would make a series of stormtroopers back then. They did the nice, cute things, the Ewoks and the droids. People liked the droids. Kids did, especially.
Look, I get it. I understand that Lucas, I know that it was supposed to be a planet full of Wookiees. Hey, that's okay. We got the holiday special.
Oh boy.
And yeah, that would have been cool to see Kashyyyk, which is why I'm pretty sure that's why they put it in Revenge of the Sith or whatever. But I
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the Ewoks. Oh, I like the nature beats industrial. The smaller
Mm-hmm.
guy beats the bigger guy. It's cool. Plus, toys. It was a smart
Yeah.
decision by Lucas, especially since he made such a big profit off of the marketing of Star Wars alone.
See, I don't. My mom had an instinct on that because, like I said, we saw the movie together. My mom, Buck Rogers, Battlestar Galactica, all those that were on TV. She told me later, just a while back. She's like, I don't remember how you got into that stuff. But Star Wars, when we had gone as a family to see it. I must have pushed to see it, but she quickly got on the toy line, the buying the toys in the original movie. We got the one of the counter display of the 12 original action figures. I think it's 12, but things like that. And my mom got that stuff, and she let me play with it till I was done with it, then boxed it all up. But it really, I think, is known as the first movie really that it got into the toys. That's how big it's gotten in our culture. Is it started it all? The widespread sale of toys and memorabilia from all this stuff. And look at the value that it keeps from the original stuff. Not all the second generation and all the stuff down the line, but I mean, we're talking about stuff that has value, not just financial, but emotional, sentimental value, collections between families, memories between family members. I hope to pass my stuff down to my kids one day. Of the original stuff, the good stuff.
Well, here's the thing: is if I remember correctly, Lucas got like bank off of the Star Wars toys. Like there was this deal that he made with the Star Wars toys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
Well, I think he took less money, I guess, on the movie and stuff, but he got the
I think he
complete.
got all the
Yeah,
complete right for the marketing of Star Wars. With that,
yeah.
if he's getting the complete marketing, it's a brilliant decision to make his third movie toy heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, and I don't care who you are, everybody went after those little Ewok toys.
Well, and of course, then the movie before Empire, he brought out Yoda, the little puppet, Oz. I think Frank Oz was the voice. You had the link in with Jim Henson with the Muppets with that, And then why not have the cute, cuddly little teddy bears,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he and let's face it, Star Wars saved sci-fi. Sci-fi was sci-fi was dead at the point Star Wars came out. Star Wars was completely dead when Star Wars came out.
Because Trek was a TV show, but it didn't last long.
Science fiction had a huge audience back in the 1930s with Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon. You got science fiction from the 50s, more alien monsters or children's television programming, which was really cheaply produced and over melodramatic. Sorry, it just kind of was. And then you have this thing going on, you got Star Trek going on, but even Star Trek didn't have the balls to put out a Star Trek movie at the time. You remember Star Trek the motion picture doesn't come out for 2 more years after Star Wars beats the shit out of the box office.
But see, there's the other thing though, and I think a lot of sci-fi people will tell you, well, Star Wars isn't right because you don't have sound in space, you don't have color in space, and there's a big debate on what's science fiction truly and what's science fantasy, space operas, and that stuff. But I agree. Star Wars gave a dynamic of life for the people that wanted some action. I've tried to get into Trek, and I'm still working on Trek because it's more cerebral. It's a little more. I mean, I like my bang bang pew pew. Is what we laugh about. Is what it is. And you got a little bit of the romance over in the Star Wars stuff. You get a bit of everything in it. It's not just.
Wait. You had romance in Star Trek. Kirk slept with everybody.
I'm trying to ignore that because there's some things that should not be slept with. But like motion picture, when it came out, we tried to watch it after we started watching Star Trek. I like Next Generation. I like the Trek animated series really a lot. Missing not watch it, but trying to watch the motion picture, it was like, what? It was like, what? I really could never get into the motion picture. Contrasted with the Star Wars, it was, I think, for a newer generation. You had the action, you had the explosions. It wasn't so fixated in, is it technically correct, to the great science people, or was it just a great story that happened to have action in space? Like a big pirate swashbuckling adventure, not on Earth, but out in outer space.
Okay, so here's a question. Do you like the prequels?
The prequels
of Star Wars?
Yeah. I like them. I've always liked them. I've always had problems with parts of it. Yeah. Some big parts with some of them. Yeah. The dialogue and the romance. I mean, when my kid's 2.5 and says, watch it twice, Attack of the Clones twice in theater, and then says, when are they going to fight again and quit romancing? Yeah, there's problems with it.
Yeah, so for you, you're like the kid. Okay. So here's what I find funny. I realize that you do like the originals better than anything else.
Right.
But I hate the prequels.
Really?
And
what's that?
Most people that I find who like the prequels, I like the fighting stuff. So you like the pew pew special effects.
Mm-hmm.
You go for a story, and the fact that it's CNN in space. Oh God! If I wanted to watch the news, I sit at home.
Well, see, I've always had some there were a lot of weaknesses in the prequels. The second one, Attack of the Clones, is the weakest of all because of that whole romance crap that they spent so much of the movie on, and they really didn't advance the movie much. I mean, you saw about the Kaminoans and the creation of the clone army. You saw certain things.
The animated series,
but and the Revenge of the Sith, unfortunately, was a movie that. Well, it became what it had to be because we knew where everything had to go. So I think that probably took down on a little bit. But see, the Phantom Menace was not bad. I actually was excited about it, except I thought they spent too much time on the pod racing. But a lot of people liked the pod racing scene.
Just one of the few things that I did enjoy.
Well, So
anything with Jar Jar in it irritates the shit out of me. Anything that has to do with the Trade Federation irritates the shit out of me. The fucking dialogue sucks. We don't get enough of Darth Maul. I know you don't like the fact that he came back, but Lucas approved it, so get over it.
I don't care. I'll never get over it.
But
I can even question the master if I want.
And here's the thing: is I kind of like the fact that he brought him back because he didn't really use him to his full potential in that first movie. And oh my God, Darth Maul is total badass. He is a total badass. That dual lightsaber was amazing.
Only from what we've seen, though, because see, I think he's not, because what he's doing with this thing about staying alive because of his hate is then you're saying he did something that greater Sith Lords could not do. They were always trying to live forever, but the best they could get was their spirit in a holocron or in a temple somewhere. No. They could never manifest without another body, without someone else's body.
He survived. So when the lightsaber cut him in half, it's actually funny because when the lightsaber cuts people in half, except for here's one continuity problem in the original trilogy. When Obi-Wan uses his lightsaber, there's blood on the floor. When everybody else uses a lightsaber, there's no blood because it automatically cauterizes the wound.
I have to go back and look at that. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, no. when he cuts off his arm in the Mos Eisley's cantina.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, no, I got you.
But there's no blood from Luke's hand when it gets cut off. There's no blood from any other limb getting cut off in any of the Star Wars movies because it instantly cauterizes because the lightsaber is so hot. That's why when it cuts metal, you see that orange glow.
Right. Well, that's interesting.
So when Maul got cut in half, he's actually cut at the hip. So he doesn't lose any of his major organs, and he instantly cauterizes everything. So he never actually dies, even though he fell down a thing. We see many people fall down things. And people liked Darth Maul. And in the realm of making money, it was a really good choice. And I actually grew to like Darth Maul. And I thought it was really, really adorable when he died in Obi-Wan's arms.
Oh God. Yeah, Annie, that's a path. You're taking a path I just can't go. No, I know. And that's good. That's what's the beauty of the Star Wars stuff, too. We can all decide what we like or not like. And it's fun having debates like this with you and things like that. I mean, because you point out some things I might not have thought about. I'll point out some things you thought about. And still, we can have fun with it. That's what makes the toys and all the games and all that so cool, because we can really have a lot of fun.
You have to tell them.
What?
They got to redeem it, honey. They haven't redeemed it.
Oh, I didn't know if we could do that today. Puppy treat. So she's sitting there begging?
She's begging.
Oh, my goodness.
Here you go. Bye-bye. Sorry, by the way, I had the camera going on and off only because I'm trying to work on some stuff, too, while I'm doing this.
Yeah. Because we got work today.
Because Dadman's joining me later tonight for another panel where we're going to have a huge group of guests, which is going to be a lot of fun. And on top of that, if I could get everything set up for that one, I will be doing another gaming stream of Star Wars. If not, then I only get the 3 streams of Star Wars, and that's just the way it is. Sorry. I'm trying to jam a lot of stuff into one itty bitty little day.
Yes. Yep, you are. But that's cool. But, hey, you know what? I tell the missus, too, we can also celebrate on May 25th also.
That is true.
Yeah. It's a good thing we can take 2 holidays. See, that's a debate that I've heard, too. A lot of people say it's only I like celebrating both of them. Yeah. Just because we can talk Star Wars. That's why.
I get it. It comes – well, in all honesty – it's like the holiday special. One, everybody calls it the Christmas special. It's not a Christmas special. Technically, it came out on Thanksgiving. And that's why they call it the holiday special, because it came out around Thanksgiving. And it's not about Christmas. It's called Life Day.
Yep, exactly. It's Life Day. But, it's... but I tell you, I think that's also part of the thing of when it came out, because everything back then was associated with Christmas that time of year.
But
It just
Life Day is actually November 17th, yet everybody does the holiday special as a Christmas special. So to me, however you want to celebrate it, you want to celebrate both days, May the 4th, which became an actual holiday that they took, or the day that the movie originally came out on the 25th. It's up to you. Or if you want to do both, like we do.
hmm
Oh, hi,
yeah.
Dadman. Oh, look, Dadman's in the chat.
Hi. I like saying hi to myself. It's like the missus says, it's always important to like yourself. So when that's the first thing she does when she gets going on the YouTube stream is make sure she likes herself.
Doggone it, people like me. And I like me.
I like
But
myself.
no, so one, let's talk a little bit more about how Star Wars really revolutionized things. One, it
Mhm.
revolutionized entertainment.
Yeah.
It really did.
Soundtracks. I think one of the biggest. I know music's always been a part of movies and stuff, but to me, it was groundbreaking with John Williams' themes about how much the sound, the musical scoring could actually make a movie and add to the feel and the environment. I mean, all the different moving parts, and you had it cued with the action. You know that the music was set in line with what was going on the screen. You know, to help set a mood. Plus, also our space boom booms and pew pews, you know, or aliens. You know, that was one of the other things that I remember that my grandparents really kind of freaked out was that for that generation, for that time period, you know, seeing aliens, you know, gold tools and Devarians and all kinds of different creatures was a big thing for these people back then, you know, to see non-human life forms. And they got quite imaginative, don't you think?
Yeah.
So very, very groundbreaking in so many different ways with it, you know. I mean, I think, you know, you always had the stop motion, all that stuff with animation and puppetry, but you know, I don't know. I really love the aliens because where else who would ever thought you could see in any universe that a hammerhead shark would be sitting in a bar?
Okay, let's talk about I think it was the Oscars in 1978. Okay, 1978. The man lost to himself for Best Original Score.
Wow, yes.
Do you know what 2 movies he was nominated for? We're talking about one.
1978, Star Wars, and the other, Close Encounters?
Close Encounters.
And
Close Encounters of the Third Kind lost to Star Wars Best Original Score in the Oscars in 1978. John Williams was nominated twice. Lost to himself.
You kicked your own ass.
Dude. So, yes. Let's face it, John Williams is a god when it comes to scores.
Yes, exactly.
He won for Fiddler on the Roof back in 1972, Jaws in 1976. In 1983, he won for E.T. He won for Schindler's List, and he's been nominated for like everything he's ever done.
Yep. Oh yeah. I mean, the Jurassic Park, just all these things. It's just, yeah. But who else can say that they kicked their own ass in a contest like that? That is hilarious.
But it's more than just the score. When Star Wars came out in 1977, it revitalized the whole sci-fi genre. So other production houses, for a really good example, Star Trek became Star Trek the Motion Picture, came out 2 years later. It's fundamentally changed how to license toys and memorabilia.
Yeah. And it's not just Star Trek. It's not just Star Trek. We also had Battlestar Galactica that came out in 78, 79, soon after. Then we had Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, came out as a movie and then went to television around 79, 80. So, yeah, I mean, it like spurred all this other action. You know, we always see it in history. Is somebody hits the next great idea, then everybody comes out to copy it or make their own version of it. Just change it around a bit.
the action figures that we all know today, G.I.
Mm-hmm.
Joes, the Star Wars toys, those 3.25 inch figures,
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars.
Yep.
The here you want a toy, but you're not going to get a toy for Christmas. Here, send in this mail-in order.
Yes. Yes, I know.
Star Wars. You know, it's absolutely amazing. If it wasn't for
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars, Kenner wouldn't be on the map.
Yeah. That's not the only toys. I thought there were other toy companies too,
But
though.
Kenner, no, he went okay. George Lucas really had a hard time finding anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He no one wanted to take on the toys associated with the movie because so many toys in the past associated with movies were not, they just didn't sell.
Right.
And Kenner took it up. And
Mm-hmm.
thank God, because Kenner's in Ohio.
There. Well, I had that Kenner stand. It was a mail-off stand. I mean, you also, back then in comic books, you had to mail off for the toy army figures, the spy glasses, all that stuff. But this one, I think, the first time we saw it with a movie, you had that type of thing. And I remember the very first one was the stand, the figure stand. And I remember my mom got that and sent it off and had it, sent back. It was really cool.
Hmm. And I have to say, it's probably Star Wars that started the whole toy collecting craze.
Mm-hmm. I've seen articles that say that it really is the one that started all of it.
Because it was with the Kenner Star Wars collection, it actually sent collecting toys of wanting to collect multiple toys from a certain thing into a whole new
Mhm.
direction. On top of the fact that Star Wars toys came with the card back that included names and photos of all the figures that were available for purchase, which is something that you see on a lot of toys nowadays. Oh, here's all the toys. So
Right.
it really started setting that into there. And once Star Wars was actually introduced as a concept of toys as collectibles and not just a child's trinkets, and they started becoming worth money, that said it. That
Yeah.
that 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 was the end of me getting my toys out of the trash can.
Yeah. Well, I will say, like I said earlier, I really appreciated my mom looking back even more to this day and age because not only did she get them, she also knew how to take care of them. There are a few things that I did not take care of myself over the years that I look back kind of regret. But I will say it was always really great to have a mom that would, when she knew I was done playing with them, she boxed them up quickly, got them secured where, they'd be protected, and and like I said earlier, it's not just for value collecting. Some of it's handing down to your kids, to kid neighbors, to other people. I've heard about others giving away their collections, to non-relatives, to kids, So it's always a good talking point. I remember also it's like you got that character, I got this character. Damn it, I wanted that character. My parents wouldn't buy it for me. Too expensive, or we'd already bought other characters. Of course, if you could find that, was it the gray or the red snaggletooth? There were like two different snaggletooths. If you got the right color one, like the Boba Fett, there was one Boba Fett that had a different color, and you could, it's like, dang it, I want to get that, but your mom and dad wouldn't buy it because they're like, well, you already got one.
Mm-hmm.
Like stormtroopers and rebel soldiers, we needed cannon fodder. Mom's like, you got one already. I'm like, yeah, but I need an army.
You need an army.
Yeah,
You couldn't have
exactly.
just one stormtrooper. You couldn't have just one rebel guard. Yet you needed it. You needed to have it all. Hey, Atwood, how's it going?
Atwood, hey, and Atwood, she's also over on YouTube now too, live. So just to make sure you know. So remind you to plug yourself, Amanda, about your YouTube channel side. So, but yeah, it was always great. I know some people now that because I got the Millennium Falcon, that was one my parents bought, but they did not buy me the big jumbo AT-AT Walker, which is one I really, really wanted, back then. But and then it is always compare and contrast who got what you got, all this other stuff. I don't know. Did you get many of the Star Wars toys, or even in the Jedi line?
So the toys that I had the ones that my very first Star Wars toy. Oh, Welcome back. My very first Star Wars toy was actually. Oh my gosh! Could you? Oh, come on! I don't want the ad. I keep trying to turn off ads and it won't let me. Okay.
What do you mean over on this? You mean over on the Twitch side?
I'm about to admit something, and you all are gonna hate me for it. If you
What?
say dude, if you say you haven't watched or you don't like Star Wars, you don't say anything. It will save you so much.
Yeah, especially since we know you. Then the filters come off. But yeah, it's just because I'm curious about that. What were those first toys that you saw? Because I figured they probably were in the Return of Jedi, the later version, the later movies.
Actually, my very first Star Wars toy was the Rancor.
Interesting.
My daddy got it out of the trash when I was a little girl. So my dad was a garbage man, worked for the city of Cincinnati, and most of my toys actually came from the trash. So my very first Star Wars toy happened to be a Rancor. My second one was a TIE Fighter Trooper from the first movie, and Leia from the first movie, but she was beaten to hell and back.
Wow.
Then we started going to flea markets after I was actually old enough to actually go and kind of run off, and that's when I really started collecting the toys. And I just they were, these were used toys, but they had all of their things in them, and they were in little baggies because we're at a flea market, and they were selling them for $1 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Dude, my allowance covered that. So I would normally buy depending on how many chores I did as a kid, I would buy 5 or 10 different figures every week.
Wow. That's a good way to do it. It's kind of like the Missus.
I've only seen the Phantom Menace. That sucks. The Clone Wars, great show. Rebels, that's a good show. Some of the Mandalorian, good show. I've only played some of the new Battlefront 2, which is it's an okay game. And Jedi Fallen Order, which is also a good game. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not Vader. I don't have the power to force choke you through the screen. Sorry.
Your lack of faith is disturbing.
It's not like I'm going to look at
the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
No. If you're going to do this and I'm on a stream and he's in the chat, you kind of have to do it right. Where he's like, your apology is accepted. You're now promoted, dude. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Empire Strikes Back. Apology accepted, Agent Atwood. But and all they're good. I'm giving you a hard time, Atwood. That's cool. But also you got to get. I mean, with all this new stuff, you really need to watch the original Star Wars. I honestly think, especially if you can get the version that's not contaminated with the special edition stuff, if you could somehow find Star Wars. If you have to do the special edition, then fine. But watch the movie, try to clear your mind out of everything else, and then see why some of the old people like me say what we say about some of the new stuff. But then again, not all of us are that way, because people like Amanda, who's not as old as me, but old, she has a different. I love you, Amanda. But no, in all seriousness, though, Amanda may not have watched it in the theaters when it came out, but she goes way, way back to watching it. Then because she watched it all before the dark times, as I call it. So
you know what? Stop calling it the dark times, because you know what?
Yeah.
But you know what, Agent? It's up to you how you want to watch it.
But I do think you need to start with the original movie that started it all. I really think you really need to do, and then go from there to decide what you like and how to put it all in order. Because it's really the way it should be. Because you got Star Wars, then they wrote the book Splinter of Mind's Eye, which is the little interlude between that and then sequel Empire. Then we get Jedi.
Such a great book.
Yeah.
Splinter of the Mind's Eye already foreshadows how much more of a badass Leia is than Luke will ever fucking be.
Well, see, we go into what you talked about with culture and everything else right there. We talked about gaming. We talked about movies. We hadn't even talked about literature and books. I mean, Star Wars also expanded the whole expanded universe. The worlds are created, the timelines, the adventures, all created in the world of books for people that like to read books and escape. I mean, and they were really, there were some bad books. I will say there's some bad written books, some bad series. Yes, it was not perfect, but there was some very good stuff if you like to read. Very, very powerful stuff.
Look, the Jedi Order's good. Obviously, the Timothy Zahn Heir to the Empire, they are good books.
Are you saying the new Jedi Order?
There's a new Jedi Order book series out there.
Yes, the new Jedi Order with that's the Yuuzhan Vong invasion. That was a hell of a series right there. Oh man,
Splinter of the Mind's Eye is a fantastic book, but I really hate when people call, Disney got a hold of it. It's the dark. You know what? People have been fucking up Star Wars since the moment it came out, including the guy who created it. Y'all need to stop.
But we can't. It's too much fun.
But y'all need to stop. I mean, as soon as that movie's popular, he's sitting there going, "Okay, how am I going to change this? Watch this." Because by the time he starts changing the title to Star Wars and going, "Oh no, now it's Star Wars Episode 4." Huh? What? How'd you get 4 out of your first movie, you dumbass? And then everybody's like, he always knew exactly. No, he did not. No, he fucking did not. That is bull fucking shit.
Well, but I mean, look at the way he did the updates in the late '90s with the before the prequels came out. He did it saying he wanted to touch up. He wanted to touch up the originals, do things that they could not do back then. But a lot of it just was adding those creatures around Mos Eisley really didn't add much. They added one with a Jawa falling off of one. I mean, it's like, why did you need to throw the humor in there? It just kind of...
Because at this point in his life, the people that he had with him when he made the original trilogy were not there anymore. So there was no one there to slap the shit out of him and go, "No, bad Lucas, no." I'm sorry. If you grew up with the special editions, I'm sorry. Now, when he did the first tweak that came out right before he decided to do the special editions, where he actually used something that, again, every movie pretty much uses, thanks to Star Wars, Industrial Light and Magic. Oh my God, the impact that it has had on special effects in this world is just absolutely Jesus. But when they went in and they did they just went in and they fixed the lighting and everything, that was pretty. Vader's eyes were no longer red because, in the original, remember, Vader's eyes were red. And in some really, really early cuts, you can almost see David Prowse's eyes.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, at Disney, when you fight Darth Vader, you can see the guy's eyes inside there. I've done it. I've got to fight Darth Vader on Jedi Training Academy with the kids on a Father's Day, but it gets back to the changes, and we joked about the whole Han shot first thing, because I think he was quoted as saying that it did something with his image, or Han's image. Well, I'm like, what is? I never agreed with that, because you know what? We got a skullduggerer, we got a scoundrel. I mean, he would have shot first. Why are we going to? I mean, I was a 6-year-old kid when I saw it. I didn't value judge the guy. Hey, he just protected himself because he was about to get toasted himself by the bounty hunter, And what they did is they made Greedo look incompetent, who can't shoot somebody from 2 feet away, and it just, I really think that really is something that I think dug into what Han Solo became, because it showed that he was a scoundrel.
But because he marries the princess and everybody knows that he's a good guy, all of a sudden, we got to make him look like a good guy. No, we don't. We have whiny little farm boy, bitchy little bitch, Skywalker. My God. Fuck that character. I hate Luke Skywalker. I like him so much better by the time he gets to Return, because I can't stand his ass in Star Wars. I cannot stand Luke Skywalker. You know, it's the Tossy Stacy kids. So you're gonna work on the farm and make your family some goddamn money. That's what the fuck you're gonna do, little boy. By the way, if you can ever find it, if you have a VCR or if you have somebody who could turn VHS tapes into, this is about as close to the original theatrical release that you may be able to find.
Yep.
And it's actually really good. This is just the digitally remastered version, but it's good.
But it has not added stuff to it, right?
No. It just, I have a VCR DVD combo. See, there you go.
Yeah. I've got to see if we got that tape
No,
right there.
the special edition of the VHS boxes is gold.
Right. I have both.
Which I do own because I have the original box set. I have these box sets. I have the special edition box sets. I have like 4 different versions of this movie on VHS.
See, I don't know if we have a VHS anymore, and we've gone to DVD with everything, because I would like to see that. I'll have to pull that thing out and look at it one time to see it.
You know what? You know what? Guess who has a VCR in her house, and you could always come and visit, and then we could have a Star Wars party.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
If you have the OG Dadman, can I rent it?
I'll have to look. See, now that remastered edition, that has the original where Han did not shoot, correct? I mean, the Greedo did not shoot.
Yeah. This is just digitally remastered. That didn't change until they came out with the special edition,
which is the gold box.
Oh my fuck! So you all could go. Disney destroyed Star Wars. No, Lucas started destroying Star Wars. Hell, even after he sold it to Disney, he still went when Disney decided to put it on streaming. Was like, oh, I want to make another change to that scene. Save yourself. Don't watch that. Don't watch that. Don't you dare watch that. Burn that shit. Okay, let me tell you how bad George Lucas messed up Star Wars. My mommy, I love her. Bless her. She's the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, the black and gold box. Don't watch that, Agent. She has a movie that is absolutely wretched. Catwoman. And she can live with that movie. But my mom, one Star Wars day, decided to turn on Star Wars on TV. And, of course, they only show the special edition now. And my mom calls me up and goes, was I on way too many drugs, or was there always a shitty Jabba the Hutt in this movie? My mom flat out called out those special effects. The company that is known for special effects, Industrial Light and Magic. Hi, Cassie. The company known for special effects put that shitty ass Jabba the Hutt. My mom hated it. My mom hates the special edition. And that has to tell you something right there. The woman who can watch the Halle Berry Catwoman movie hates the special edition of Star Wars. And I should tell you how bad Lucas messed that up. Like, he messed that up bad. And it is. It's unneeded scenes, unneeded. In all honesty, he threw a lot of Jar Jar Binks comedy into that shit. He was like, well, I got this movie coming out. They love this. They're going to love him. No, not really. I think I lost Dadman somewhere. Dadman, are you still alive? Are you getting force choked? Does anybody, am I the only one who can't hear him? Use the force, Dadman. I'm going on a rant. Come back and join me. Okay, so that, yeah. If y'all find an edition online that's at least somewhat close to the original, just send it to me. Everyone died. Well, that's the end of that. Fuel! I just hope everything's okay. Well, while we're waiting for Dadman to come back in, I am not gonna be able to end that last ad break, am I? Crap. So once upon a time, before it was owned by Disney, Star Wars was actually owned by the Fox Company, which is why the bump 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 brrr, bump bump is really well known to always start Star Wars. Fox was almost bankrupt until this itty bitty little movie came out, grossing $100 million in 3 months. It actually moved the share from $6 a share to $25 a share for Fox Studios. Basically, helped Fox from going bankrupt into a thriving media. Dadman, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, you left. Okay. I was
Yeah.
on a rant. You disappeared, and I had no idea where you went.
I put BRB in the private chat. Sorry.
Oh, I can't see the private chat because it's on the other side of the monitor, which is covered by the other monitor, which is somewhat covered by the other monitor.
Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. Well, hey, rants are good. I'm sure it was a great rant.
So I was telling everybody how my mom likes the Halle Berry Catwoman movie, but hates the special edition.
Yeah, I did hear that part. I did. So what's the wrong with the Halle Berry Catwoman? I mean, she's fine, you know?
The movie sucks.
Well, you don't watch it for the movie. You watch it for Halle Berry, don't you?
No, trust me, it sucks.
Okay.
When they have Halle Berry having to lick out of a milk bowl because they're like, she's Catwoman, she should drink milk. But we got a problem.
Shoot the buttons. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I don't think I want to see any human do that.
No. Star Wars started looking like shit the first time Lucas messed with it and it came out with the special edition. Then he fucked it up again by bringing out the prequels. Then he fucked it up again by changing the special edition a second time. Then he fucked it up again by selling it to Disney. Then he fucked it up again by looking at Disney going, oh, I want to change that Han Solo scene in the cantina yet again.
Yeah, there too many
the
changes.
The man who changed the entertainment industry and the toy industry with one little movie went and fucked everything up. And then he's like, hey, look, Spielberg, look what I did. Oh, I'll change all the guns in E.T. to walkie-talkie. Would y'all stop?
Yeah, what is that's probably another discussion for another day. But
the only difference is that Spielberg listened to the backlash and went, I'll change it back and I'll put out both versions. Lucas went, it's my movie and I'll do whatever I want to, and then you can do. Shut the hell up. If it wasn't for us, you'd be broke.
Yeah, I say don't touch with success. It's like you have that debate about a lot of movies nowadays that were made that are looked at as classics, and could you even make them now anymore? Or because but then again, if you start changing and tweaking what it was, then you've ruined the movie. Like yeah, they were police officers. They were. I mean, of course, E.T. They had to have guns. So, I mean, what did they go do? Carry around little magnifying glasses or little black books or something?
No, they're going to use their pointer finger. Now, you put that alien back where you found it, or so help me.
Yeah. Oh, that's it from Monsters, Inc. Put that thing back in there, so help me. Yeah. You remember that scene in Monsters, Inc.?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So, but because it does, they seem like small changes, but why do them? And like the one, I hate to be a broken record, is having the Greedo shoot first. Not only did you mess Han Solo up, and really you show how he was just a cut. Yeah, he was a cut. Yeah, he can have a conscience, but he was also going to protect himself. He wasn't going to wait to get vaporized. He took care of it. But then again, you take away from his journey from where he was to where he went to where he became. You don't need to retro the past for where he is now. You make him more nobler, showing what happened where he goes to, and also at the same time you ruin Greedo. Because after that, who has any respect for Greedo? He was not a bad bounty hunter.
I was about to say, did anybody actually have respect for Greedo to begin with?
Well, they lost any with after that scene because you can't hit somebody from 2 feet away, right in front of them, sitting down.
Yeah.
I mean, and you missed a bad wide right. Only an FSU kicker can be so wide right.
So,
But come on, Amanda, tell me you got that reference.
I got it.
Yes, sports ball, and you remember FSU Miami. Sorry.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
The tier. Here's what's funny is that scene just going from the original to what it is now. So we have the original. Going somewhere solo, it's just about to see your boss, blah, blah, blah. Over my dead body, shoot, Greedo's dead.
Yep.
Second time, Greedo shoots, then Han, or Han and Greedo shoot at the same time. Then the second time, Greedo shoots, then Han shoots. The third time, Greedo shoots, and Han's head is digitally made to move like a rubberneck, and then Han shoots. And now it's Greedo shoots, Han head moves, and the most awkward bullshit, fucked up special effects that makes the mustache remove on Superman look good. Then Han shoots, and then Greedo yells, McClunky shoots. Han does his neck jerk thing and then shoots. How good is the digitally remastered widescreen DVD set? I don't know. Mrs. Here, let's put the man down on the bottom where he belongs.
Hey, I am not sure what's going on.
I like that.
Oh, he just popped back in. I only came in because he wasn't there.
I like that. I like being down here. Hey, Mrs. Sorry, I've been back a couple minutes.
Why were you not talking?
I had to step away for a minute. I had to use the restroom.
He had to use the restroom. He put it in the private chat. I didn't see the private chat because it's actually the very corner of this monitor is actually hidden by another monitor. And then that monitor over there, that corner there is actually hidden by this monitor because I have 3 monitors on the.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? Since the missus is on now, though.
Okay, I just
she's
popped
got to go.
I can't be. I'll stay just for a few. I can't go. I'm going to. I was listening, and I was laying down, and I heard Amanda going, "There's nobody here," and so I said, "Oh, okay, let me go ahead and get on."
Sorry about that, Amanda. But you know, you were talking about culture and how it's with society. One thing Mrs. and the kids, it was the Star Wars weekends. We know about celebrations, but Mrs., what about our times at Star Wars weekends that Disney had?
Well, when they had them a while ago before they got too big and too stupid, they were really, really fun. They engaged the fans, and they really were doing stuff for the fans. It wasn't for anyone else, and they were fun. And I'm not a big Star Wars person, and I actually enjoyed them. And they made it. I mean, they had the Darth Vader, the Jedi training with the kids, and it was fun because they would pick them out of the audience at the beginning, and that was always real neat. And they had trivia where you won cool stuff, not just crap. And Dadman went on the trivia, and he actually won it once and got some really, really cool stuff. And but at the beginning, they were really, really good. And then I think they just kind of outgrew themselves. They almost should have made them, I hate to say it, but a paid event or something with limited tickets because it got too big for what it was, and then it was no longer enjoyable. They would.
Hi, Kitty.
Hey.
I will have to take a look because here's the thing: when it comes to the DVD sets, I haven't found any that have the original because I know that they also did a digitally remastered of the special edition, like because then he went and said he fixed Jabba the Hutt. No, he didn't.
Yeah, because the original Jabba the Hutt was going to be a human, and then they had that deal with that scene with walking behind him.
Doesn't matter. That scene was cut for a purpose because 1, it just makes the movie drag, and 2, Jabba's reveal and return is so much better than seeing him in the first one.
Right.
The first one needs to. The first one has to be focused on the Death Star and Leia and bringing everybody together, especially now. And I realized that it was not going to be a trilogy originally, unless it was successful. It became successful, so now he does this trilogy because it's successful. We need a sequel, but when you watch it as a trilogy, it really slows that down. And the fact that that's the only thing about Jabba, and we've already learned everything we need to by the interaction between Greedo and Han.
Right.
There's no need for him. Anyway, Mrs. I'm sorry. I was just talking to the chat about that, but I will take a look.
Yeah, but like what you're saying is that became a cultural event, like the celebrations. I mean, this movie has caused all these type of
and they were for the
events.
and at the beginning they were for the fans. It was for the Star Wars fans. Everything they did it for them. They had the characters walking around for the fans. It they just really, really, really appreciated them. And as it got on, it got less fan focused.
Well,
and
because
it was kind of sad.
That's
But I
because
think,
everything ends up becoming commercialized.
Mm-hmm.
Everything becomes commercialized.
And I'll be honest, the missus is right with the fact of the crowd levels. Their hyperspace hoopla was a great end of the. I mean, on Sunday we went to leave. We had to do that.
I love that.
But it was like by the end, instead of it being over in the little corner by Star Tours, they had to put it at the big hat stage, and they had to keep areas open, and you were like squashed in areas like a rock concert, you know. They didn't have because in the old days they would have the Jawas and a few other characters going through during the hyperspace hoopla, saying basically goodbye to everybody and still doing some training. But it got so big that they couldn't do stuff like that.
Right.
But
so I wish. I mean, and yeah, I wish. Probably the best thing that they could have done, which they didn't do, is if they took maybe had like something during the during the park time, but have something special that was like their Mickey's Very Merry Christmas or any of that, and that so there were limited tickets, and it was you could have more more interaction and stuff like that.
No.
I think would have been just an amazing thing to do, but they didn't do that, and so it was fun. I enjoyed doing the celebration stuff. Even like I say, not even being a Star Wars fan and barely knowing any of the characters, it was enjoyable.
Yeah, that's why I like having you on the Boot, Marry, Kill edition, because you're like, I don't know these people, but that one's hot.
Yeah, that one. Yep. It's gonna be fun tonight. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I still got some work to do because I'm trying to do all new characters and mix it up a little bit more, and because like I can't do R2D2 and 3PO together because everybody unanimously went kill 3PO last time, so kill him.
Oh, why? Poor guy.
Aw.
Poor little guy.
He's just trying to help, and he's got all this useful information in his head, and nobody wants to listen to him.
Okay, so Atwood, the noise notifications are not going to work proper because I'm using StreamYard instead of OBS. So any of the sound notifications you want to use those when I'm live on just Twitch, because they're not going to work well. They're not connected to, unfortunately, StreamYard, so they don't work with the panels.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why do you use StreamYards instead of OBS for panels?
Because StreamYard's easier this way than trying to, because I can see everybody this way and bring everybody in. If I use my OBS, don't be sorry. You didn't know. It's there. I just keep forgetting to turn them off during these types of streams. But for gameplay, good God. Oh, please. There's no need for you to be sorry.
Yep, no.
Now, that man has the right to be sorry.
He is sorry.
Yeah, buttheads. You know y'all love me.
Okay, if you say so.
Anyway, Mrs., I don't want to keep you. I know
too expensive.
Oh gosh! Wow.
Just keep that life insurance on him, Mrs. I'll take care of everything else.
Well, there used to be a joke we used to joke around that he would get raises, and they used to have where that if something happened to him, I would get double his yearly salary. And so every time he'd get a raise, it'd be, "Oh, how much do you make now a year?" And he'd tell me, and I go, "Oh, yeah, not enough yet," And so next year he says, "Oh, it's getting closer, it's closer." So our joke was, you know, um, he's now makes enough money that it would be okay. But I'm so afraid. I'm trying to very veil it on this show. But it's a joke, everybody. And I was so afraid that if something ever did happen to him that was suspicious, I'd be the first on the list because of all the jokes I've made about his insurance money.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I'll take care of everything.
Uh,
Don't worry about it.
Shh, it's a secret. Nobody tell.
Yeah.
So, but yes. So,
Well, and we talk about the conventions also, but I tell you, this lady actually, for not being a Star Wars fan, actually went with me at 2:30 in the morning and lined up to get in. And we actually got good seats to see George Lucas
that
at a
was fun.
celebration. Yeah.
You don't want me to meet George Lucas? Because I don't hold my tongue for anybody. And the first thing I'm going to say is, what the hell were you thinking? Let me list everything you've done wrong, and I want you to fix it. And I don't want to hear, and it's my movie, and they can do. No, you fix it. It's my movie. I made the money for you to keep making these movies. I bought your ranch. You give me what I want.
Yes.
Well, this was before all that happened. This was before
You see
all
that?
happened.
You see all that? You see all that? I bought your shit.
You tell him. You tell him.
Yeah. Tell
An
him,
open letter to Lucas.
My 3 Star Wars costumes in my damn thing, my lightsabers, my figures, a curio cabinet full of your merchandise, the Princess Leia shampoo bottle where I get the twist Carrie Fisher's head off. I bought all that shit.
Wow.
We didn't buy that much.
6 different versions of a VHS of the same damn movie.
Okay, that one.
You win.
That's the ultimate game of marketing right there. Get by the same people to buy the same thing again and again.
Hey guys, Star Wars came out on VHS. Hey guys, Empire came out on VHS. Return of the Jedi came out on VHS. Here's the new box set. Bought it. Here's the new digitally remastered. Bought it. Here's this new digitally remastered. Bought it. Here's this new box set. Bought it. Here's the special edition. Bought it just because it goes into my collection and I won't open it. Hey, we're gonna slap Star Wars on a PS4. I bought it.
Yep.
We're gonna slap Star Wars on an Xbox 360 and it's still in its box. I bought it. I bought your ranch. Fix my movie.
We did already.
Over and over again.
No, I said fix, not keep making it worse.
Well, now that Dadman's back, you can all start talking Star Wars again.
All right. By the way, Mrs., you've got a stream tonight. Talk about it before you leave.
Yes, at 5 p.m., me and Dadman Walking are going to be doing a block party stream. I will be building the Star Wars Death Star
Trench Run
diorama. It's a big lot of words for me. And hopefully I'll get it done in 3 hours because that's the time we have allotted for the show. If I haven't, I'll do an impromptu show. But yes, it's at 5 p.m. and they'll be on my channels, both my Lego, both my Yoo-Hoo and Yoo-Hoo. I told you I'm tired, man. I woke up from a nap on my YouTube and Twitch and on Dadman's YouTube.
I'll swing by the convenience store on the way home and bring you a Yoo-Hoo then.
No, bring me
Hey, do they make Yoo-Hoo and blue milk?
Did you see that? There was a thing with the blue milk up there in the Midwest.
It's not in my store. It's not in my goddamn store. I can't find it. It's not in my goddamn store.
I can't find it. They don't have it down here in Redneckville. It's like I'm like none of it. Or Walmart didn't have it. Or
it's not in the goddamn Midwest. It is not in the goddamn Kroger. Somebody fix my shit.
So no,
it's in Michigan.
That just means the South is smarter than most other states.
Here's the thing. What am I going to do with this blue milk if I buy it? Because then I'm going to have this conundrum. Do I drink it, or do I
Yes.
just let it turn to cheese to fit into my collectibles? My 3PO cereal that's in a box sitting in a curio cabinet from the 1980s.
What's easy? You get two bottles. You drink one, and then you make the cheese with the other one. Yeah, I had a friend of ours. Their kids, when I talked about it, they got it for the kids, and the kids love it now. They want more. So, but they said it stunk, so they ended up making their own concoction and recipe of it. I'll have to show you a
It's
picture
just like
later.
a vanilla milk is what it is.
But it does have a weird taste though. But
I probably would say what would probably happen is I would buy it, and then I would just keep the milk carton after I drink it, rinse it out, and then keep the milk carton.
because it does have
Maybe
have a
put some
label on
water
it.
with blue coloring in it.
It does have a label on it, and you know, people try to run blue and green milk all together, but see, the others from The Last Jedi, but the blue milk in this case is celebrating the Lars Homestead, where they had the blue milk in the scene there. So it is truly not. And I think, unfortunately, people are associating it with The Last Jedi really quickly, saying, I won't drink it, but, you know, I'll try anything. I think it's kind of cool. But I do know somebody that made their own version of it using whole milk, and they sent me the recipe. It's and it looks really good when you add whipped cream on top of it.
You add whipped cream on top of it. It's not in the movie. Bad Dadman.
I don't even want to know what
Lucas seen the blue milk.
But what does the whipped cream represent?
I think it adds some flavor
Luke being
to it.
a wimpy-ass boy?
No. If it's blue milk, what does the whipped cream represent? Just think as naughty as you can.
I'm not making her stay. It's not my fault.
No, I'm getting ready to go. But Dadman started talking about something before I could finish talking about what we're doing.
Yeah, so Dadman always starts talking.
I know. So we have that at 5 p.m. and that's till 3. If we don't get till 8 for 3 hours, if we don't get that done, I'll be doing an impromptu stream to finish it. But also at 9 p.m. Is that the correct time? On this same channel, we're going to be back, both of us, doing Bop, Marry, or Kill. Star Wars edition. So if you want to see who I have proclivities toward, come over here and watch. And
you want to watch Dadman squirm? That'll be the panel you want to watch, because when Mrs. starts talking about how hot some of these Star Wars characters are, Dadman goes,
Yeah. So yes. So anyway, everybody, I will see you hopefully at 5 o'clock on mine or Dadman's YouTube channels, our YooHoo channels, and I will see you. I will see you.
Hey, I'm just trying to censor myself because I'm like, I'm not sure if I will. She gets some really good answers, and it gets me hot and bothered. So
okay. Love you. Bye. I'm so glad he's not at home. He's somewhere else right now.
I know. You're so lucky.
I'll get in the car in 10 minutes.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Bye. If you do, bring me a soda.
I know. Okay.
Okay. Bye, everybody. I'll see you at 5 o'clock.
Bye, Mrs.
Bye-bye.
That was great when she popped in like that. Sorry, I did not realize you didn't see it. My bad. I'm sorry on that. For just sneaking off like that. But
remember, you have a missus that helps you with most of yours. I'm trying to do it all by myself over here.
I know. That's why when she's gone, I fall apart. I'm trying to do everything else. Oh my gosh, I don't know how y'all do it. But yeah, those were just some of we talked about the cultural aspect of Star Wars. I mean, the conventions, the whether it's celebration or the stuff Disney used to do, all those. I mean, that just doesn't happen for any movie franchise, and it's the one that I think that really set the tone. I know Trek might have been around longer; they might have had some conventions before, but they always had their following. But Star Wars, I think, really brought it into the mainstream.
Well, you know what? Star Wars also has the legacy of.
What's that?
Most parodied.
That too. I thought you were going to say about legacies of the Force.
Well, it's got its own religion. There's a church.
No, the legacy of the Force, that whole series of toys. Legacy. You're talking about legacies? Okay, bad joke.
Got it. But no, parodies. Starting off with the greatest parody of all time, Spaceballs.
Yes, absolutely. I was so dang mad. That stupid girlfriend at the time wouldn't go watch that movie. Was like, wanted to, oh, it's stupid.
Now you know why
it's
she's
not
the
that.
ex.
Yeah, exactly. Like, friggin', anyway. It's like, because we had to go watch Beverly Hills Cop 2, which was more violent, more profanity, all this, and it was a preacher's daughter. And it's like, wait, should we have been at the Spaceballs? Anyway, she just thought it was stupid. Oh, Buddy Hepburn. Hey, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
Good
Hardware
to see you.
Wars. But yeah, Star Wars has been parody from Family
Hardware
Guy to
Wars.
Spaceballs to Hardware Wars. Some Wars.
I've never seen Hardware Wars.
I mean, even Weird Al did a Star Wars song.
Yeah, Yoda.
No, not that one. The my, this here Anakin guy.
Oh, but he also did Yoda too. Got multiple of them. That's really cool.
People make songs about it. I know this guy, the Great Lewitsky. He did the first Star Wars movie to the tune of the Grease soundtrack.
Wow, I know. I just made a mistake. I just looked up Hardware Wars. Oh my gosh, I'm stunned. I have to watch that. Oh my god, one looks like Han Solo looks kind of like a Joe Namath, and you got like a Cookie Monster Chewbacca. Anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, another
good job, buddy. He's now distracted as hell.
Buddy, I tell you what, Buddy Hepburn is really young, but he knows all of his old stuff. He's got great knowledge on old movies and all that stuff out there. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Amanda's channel if you have not yet on the YouTube side. Yay, we'll get you to 500. Yay.
Thanks, Dadman.
We will. We've got to push you over.
But a lot of people forget that though. Star Wars made such a big impact. It was the second biggest blockbuster next to Jaws, so it really did help with that. There's its format of the, what is it called, monomyth of the hero. I think that's based off of The Hero with 1,000 Faces by Joseph Campbell. Because I know Lucas did like 4 drafts of the movie when he was writing it, and somewhere between those drafts, he read that book, and so he ended up following a lot of the principles from that book, which is basically the epic structure of the hero and think about it. Matrix trilogy does it. Lord of the Rings does it. The Hobbit does it. So many other places ended up using that type of thing. And then you have all these parodies because it's just been that impactful. Like he said, I think he mentioned Hardware Wars, which is a 13-minute 1978 spoof. The Simpsons has done it, Robot Chicken, Family Guy, Phineas and Ferb. We've got Spaceballs. Hell, Friends even did it. They didn't do a parody, but they made, they make references to it. And then you have you have these fans that are just psychotic over it. They wear costumes and they get stupid Star Wars tattoos on their arms, and they've got a curio cabinet full of Star Wars artifacts or Star Wars memorabilia instead of a tea set in it.
Yep.
Stupid curtains hanging up in the background, and they decorate their house, and they even have a Star Wars Christmas tree.
Yeah, I wonder who's got a Star Wars tattoo.
I have no idea.
I
would never be that nuts.
Hey, another part of the whole thing, rebellion or empire. The people to draw sides. All right.
There's only one side.
The empire. Yep.
The dark side.
The dark side.
Fuck the empire. I'm going straight dark side.
Going straight dark side. Forget. Okay, that's cool.
I ain't working. Yeah. But I'm killing the emperor. He got to go. Pruneface got to go.
Yeah. No, I got you. But that's the whole thing with the debate. That is how powerful the legacy of this movie it's become different cultures within the culture. You know, you've got some people that really are Jedi or really Sith, or Rebel Alliance or Empire. I mean, they really look. You draw sides. Look at Empire. Look at how many people love Empire as their favorite movie.
Okay, there's a reason for that.
Okay,
it's not even light side or dark side. It's because if you look at that movie, that is almost perfect. When you compare to what Lucas did to change his movies, that is the one less tampered with because he had nothing to do with it.
Yep.
He didn't direct it. He wrote it and went here. And somebody else directed it. And it came out. Mwah. And then the one time he did try, and when he did make one, the only good change he really made in that I do appreciate. So it would be really great if like Disney could be like, okay, so here's the original trilogy. I need this one scene from The Empire Strikes Back, and I need to put it into this movie, which would be where they actually got the Emperor in that scene instead of a female wearing a mask. Because that was pretty crappy in the original theatrical version. But that's like the only good thing. And then he fucked up, and it's the only time he actually fucked up and went, ooh, people don't like that. And they put that no when Luke was falling down the shaft, and everybody went, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, okay, I'll take it out.
Yeah. It's I like director's cuts. I like little additions. I like updates if they're done and they add to the movie. Lord of the Rings is one where when I saw the director's cuts that they put back in, it truly was a good flow. It added to the movie.
It flows. It's just long as shit.
No, I know it is, but they added to the story. They enhanced the experience. What I saw with the special editions was just they were like, why? They were trying to be funny, but they just fell flat and just.
But the funniness of them is like, hey, I've got my prequels coming out soon. Let me put some Jar Jar Binks humor into this. How about no?
Yeah,
that's what all that shit feels like is fucking Jar Jar Binks bullshit. Oh, here, let me put a music number in Jabba's palace so it's not creepy and eerie. It feels like it's a nightclub. Here, $5 cover charge. It's ladies' night.
It's not, but that's the thing is, I think that was stupid because it was not a nightclub per se. I mean, you really had to. It wasn't like the bar in Tatooine, or Mos Eisley. It was. You didn't want to go in there probably most cases because you never know who's going to eliminate you.
That's true. That one.
Oh, I agree with that. I just did that. We had that recently here. I got to see all three back to back to back extended cuts.
I wish they didn't use the prequel Bullfrog Emperor and Empire versus being closer to how he looked in Jedi.
Yeah, because there was a difference. I mean, you had the other the Emperor, and then now they changed it.
But the thing is we're talking Industrial Light and Magic, created because of Star Wars, which is what everybody uses pretty much for their special effects. You still can't fix the special effects that you did in your special edition, and they still look like shit. Hell, in my opinion, the special effects in the prequels did not age well either. You went too heavy with the CG, and it shows, and it looks like shit, and you haven't fixed it. That's my biggest problem. And we all know I hate the prequels. I'm not a huge fan of Solo, a Star Wars story. It's an okay movie, but it's not a Star Wars movie. It's just a movie.
What specifically about the prequels did you hate about it? I mean, they're not the best movie for me, but I mean,
the acting, even the lightsaber battles are just motion sickness.
So you did not like that. You did not like the Naboo, but with 2-on-1. Then you did not like the Maul versus.
The Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan was okay. Like I think out of all the lightsaber battles, that is my favorite out of the prequels. Mm-hmm. The stuff that they're doing on Bug Planet, where Yoda looks like Kermit the Frog on fucking crack, bouncing around everywhere, and I'm gonna get sick and throw up green pea soup. Jesus crap. And then, we got the epic battle of Obi-Wan versus Anakin Skywalker, who's now Darth Vader. And it's them twirling their lightsabers and looking like they're at Dancing with the Star Wars stars.
Oh, you mean from the Obi-Wan series?
No, I'm talking about from Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, the Revenge of the Sith.
Obi-Wan
Okay.
versus Anakin as now Darth Vader, but
Yeah.
on the suit.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got the high ground. So
Yeah.
Darth Maul had the high ground once upon a time. You beat him.
See, I like that battle. I thought that was a good lightsaber battle, but there's too much dancing, maybe. But
it came off too much like a choreographed dance than a battle. And I realize that all battles are choreographed. Don't get me wrong, but it came off too choreographed like a dance than an actual lightsaber battle between the two.
You mean too many like spinning moves, flying over the tops, pirouettes?
Not an actual pew 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 pew.
Well, I think that's why the Naboo Maul fight was so good. They had a little bit of that stuff, but it was more just fighting. Kicks to the throat. Some little force push. You actually had more engagement. I think I see what you're saying though.
I think that's why I like that one out of all of them. Plus, I also like watching Obi-Wan in that because he starts to get he's getting impatient. He wants to go. Then he gets this. He's like, okay, I've got to do it the Jedi way, and he tries to meditate. And then Qui-Gon gets stabbed in the gut, and then Obi-Wan loses his shit. Mm-hmm. And then Obi-Wan falls, and Obi-Wan's pretty much done. And there's Maul just baiting him, like, come on, do something. And Obi-Wan pulls himself together, and he pulls off that really cool thing. Again, when Darth Maul stabs Qui-Gon, there's no blood. Again, the only time you ever see blood from a lightsaber wound is from the original Star Wars.
Right.
When he cuts off the arm.
Yep.
And the arm's sitting there, and there's blood all around the arm.
That reminds me of another thing too of this whole universe. What happened because it grew. It like before. They can say what they want to. Did they really think this would ever happen? Because like that character was back then Walrus Man on the placard, the card, Walrus Man. Was his name, and now as time goes on, he's now Ponda Baba.
Ponda Baba.
All these characters that were just Walrus Man, Hammerhead, all these characters, they now have names. They now have characters. That is how the impact of the Star Wars has happened as a movie and on the culture because it became a universe to escape to all of its own. I mean, who would have? I mean,
one of the things that makes Star Wars entertaining is it's not just a sci-fi movie. It's more than just a sci-fi movie. It's a movie that is a multiple movie. It's a Western. It's a war film. It's a quasi-mystical epic. It's a science fiction movie.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just classify it as one. And then, as you talk about, you got the expanded universe where Luke marries Mara Jade, and we've got kids, and we see the next generation, and we get to follow them as they grow, and they keep adjusting. And there's all these spin-offs from, we had Star Wars Droids, Star Wars Ewoks, the 2 Ewoks movies. It just kept growing. There was no end to it. And it's amazing.
Nope, not at all.
Oh my God, I keep forgetting how heavy this fucker is. Jesus Christ.
You're what, your dog?
No.
Oh,
my true baby.
Oh no, what's your true baby?
I'm bringing it in now. That's why I turned off the camera. Now keep in mind, this is before Disney. This is got a stamp of Lucasfilm on it, which means this was all canon once upon a time.
Yeah. Wow.
This
has
the prequels, so I have to consider them canon because it has it in there. It's got the original trilogy and the Timothy Zahn books in it. The Timothy Zahn books are in here as canon. So you get to read up all about Han and Leia's kids, Luke and Mara's kid.
Mhm.
It's in here. And this thing's
Yep.
heavy. And everybody, it tells you all. It tells you everything from what a Nerf herder is to what a Nerf looks like. It's been my baby, my support, my rocket. It's heavy as hell. If that fell on somebody from like 2 inches away, it'd probably kill them. It's
Yeah.
heavy. It's
Yeah.
what is that? Oh, this is the complete Star Wars encyclopedia. Everything you wanted to know about Star Wars. Everything.
Not just a little, a lot. Now, but now it's dated because of the new stuff, though.
Nope. Because
No?
here's the thing. Regardless of what Disney says, there's one thing that Star Wars fans are, and that's very adamant. And as far as I'm concerned, if you can take from the Timothy Zahn books and throw them into your cute little fanfic, then I can take any characters that I like, BB-8, and throw them into my Star Wars realm.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my canon.
Right.
This is what I grew up on. This is what I believe in, because I want Luke to get married and get some badonkadonk other than kissing his sister. And I like watching Leia become the most badass of everybody and showing that she's always been more powerful than Luke. I like the relationship that happens between Leia and her father in the Timothy Zahn books, to where she ends up naming her third child Anakin.
Yeah, that was very big. Especially, I think we saw it. I think first in Tatooine Ghosts, because that's where they looked at that. They ran into Kitster and some of the others that knew Anakin as a kid. But yeah, that whole journey, that was a whole journey itself. Between to see the development of Leia, and with Anakin, and coming to terms with what he had become and what he did, because she did not want to forgive him for the longest time.
No.
She considered him a pariah and an embarrassment, and still looked at, because the people did that. People still harbored stuff against her as the descendant of Anakin for what he did.
But the only two things that I will ever actually bitch to Disney about when it comes to Star Wars is two lines that were uttered by someone. The Force is female. Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, the Force is neither female or male or anything. The Force is everything. Is what binds us and penetrates us and gives a Jedi its power.
And it is selective. Not everybody has it. Not everybody has the greatest extent of it. I mean, because at one time they were trying to make it as anybody could have it. It's in every, it to some degree it may be. But that's not true, because the thing is, the Force also had the ability to shut out people and creatures and stuff. Because if you look back at the Yuuzhan Vong, the Force shut itself off from them. They were not able to touch or use the Force or be seen in the Force anymore. So. Yeah.
I will say this. When it came to the second Disney Star Wars film, I really wish that they would have stayed on that path, that Rey was not related to anybody, to start a new generation. Because we do have a generation today where people are really starting to learn about themselves. And for some, it's really hard. And to make Rey a nobody, not related to anyone, and be blessed by the Force to have these powers, I thought would have been a great story. And really could have taken Star Wars into Disney's own realm, to separate it for Disney to move forward and make Star Wars their own. And I would have liked to have seen Disney make Star Wars their own. I think if they could have just done their own thing, I think more people, we would still have people that were upset. And I don't blame Disney completely for the failure of those sequels. I blame the fans just as much as I blame Disney. Dadman?
I'm thinking. I was letting you finish your thought.
I was going to ask you if you. I was waiting for you to go. Why would you actually blame the fans as well?
No, I do think that there's some ways and some elements the fans can be blamed for some of it, but I think that I think one, it's dangerous to blame the fans, and two, I think the fans. A lot of what happened was a natural reaction to what Disney did do, because I'll tell you. Like I said, I use that quote from Padme, Anakin, you're taking a path I can't follow. That's what the mouse has done, because to me, and I think Lucas had said it before, the whole premise of Star Wars from the beginning was the path of the bloodline of the Skywalkers. It was Anakin, his journey, his fall, his redemption. And now we got distracted about what's the balance? Who's the balance? Is Rey now the balance? I mean, they've spent all this time trying to redefine stuff that should have never been touched. I think you should have. It still needed to stay at the core, the Skywalker bloodline. You could have created new Skywalker grandkids that are not in the EU. You could have done or cousins or something. You could have done different vehicles to do it to go forward, but or even take Wonder Rey and work her in a nice way with Luke to come alongside and turn it. You could have done that. Not this. I'm done with the Jedi. Jedi have to end. Throw up the lightsaber. And that type of stuff with what they did. So I think the fans' reaction is a natural thing, because like me, I can't go where it's not Anakin's bloodline.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Now they've done that.
Let me ask you this.
It's a Palpatine now.
Stop.
Okay.
Force Awakens.
Right.
Where do you stand on Force Awakens? Forget the other two movies. Force Awakens comes out. You watch it. How do you feel?
My initial impressions, I was okay with it. I liked it. It was nice to have Star Wars back. I despise that Han Solo got killed, because he should have never been.
That is no one's fault but Harrison Ford's. We can't do anything about that.
I know. You know what? I'd have recasted the damn role. Because it's bullshit. Because you know what? And especially he's wrong about that character not having depth and everything else. If you read the EU, everybody tells me, go look at Rebels, go watch this. Well, go read the EU if you haven't. There was nothing more. You could not find a better developed character, somebody that took a true journey from the pits to the heights and it was, life sucked even after the rebellion for him. It was. He had to fight off a suitor for Princess Leia, all this other stuff. Life wasn't bed of roses. But the whole thing that it was not a good character, Han Solo was one of the most fascinating characters you could have had in anything there.
I'm going to call Harrison Ford's bullshit. It had nothing to do with the character arc of him.
Well,
he was done with him, and he wanted to go make money and make other movies. He wanted this character dead.
He wanted to be the star. He wanted to be the star of it all and not just part of an ensemble.
He was Indiana Jones and so many other things at the time he's done.
But look what he did. Okay. But look what he did then. He wrote that character into the toilet bowl. Nobody wants to touch the fifth movie. They barely wanted to touch the fourth movie. And we took
I only know of 3 movies.
3. There you go. That's the spirit. But yeah, I was trying to be gracious, Amanda. But you cut through the
But other than that.
But
so take out Harrison Ford's mistake and get rid of the other 2 movies. It felt like a Star Wars movie.
It did. It did. The only thing that bothered me was that we didn't get Luke Skywalker really returning in that movie. I know what they did to set up, but that's bullshit. We waited 40 years, and we should have had all 3 together. We should have had Chewbacca. I would even said, as far as bring Lando, get all of them back together, because you know what? As we find out, life's too short. You're not guaranteed you'll ever have another chance to do it. Right. And in them and their pride, that's something that they could have done and given to the fans. I've seen stuff like with Trek. There's lots of debates in Trek and all. But you know what? Trek got a reuniting of the TNG group. They got reuniting of the movies as they went on.
But at the same point in time, like you said, no one knew what was going to happen to Carrie Fisher.
But they had their shot. That first movie.
I understand they had their shot. I understand that. But again, That's not to say that they didn't.
Mm-hmm. But
I
to
know.
your point,
Okay, look,
yeah,
I know. Okay, you guys are beating this. I know they didn't have a shot of Han, Luke, and Leia together. I get this.
yeah,
That
yeah.
doesn't mean that originally that wasn't the original plan. But maybe they
But
were saving it for the next movie. No one knew what was going to happen to Carrie Fisher. I get it. It sucks, but
yeah.
shit happens,
Well,
guys.
but the thing is, but that's the thing is, you got to take advantage when the iron's hot. We waited 40 years. This is the first movie. It's where it should have happened logically and everything else. And instead, we got Han and Leia together, but they were, divorced couple again. Once again, we got a real
Yeah,
world
they
situation.
Ghostbuster to that shit. My
You
thing
know,
is,
it's,
I don't know why they didn't do it. Who
yeah.
knows what the story was supposed to be?
But to
But
your
at the
point,
end
to
of
the
but
question
at the
that you
end of
gave me,
the day,
the question that you gave me with how did I feel of it as a Star Wars movie, all the bang bang pew pew was nice. It felt like it with the music, but without those characters coming together and being friends together in a spot like the other movies, that's why I don't feel like it was. When I walked out, it felt like I was not at a Star Wars movie. I was missing something because even the last scene on Endor, they were all together celebrating. We know that they're not in every scene all together throughout all the movies. They never are. People are in different places, but you waited 40 something years, and it's really such an important thing to a lot of people. Though I think, and that's the part. You never even got the chance to have it,
see,
and they
it
should have.
doesn't bother me
That's it. Yeah. Well, and that's where we have a debate. That's where everybody has different debates and
because
what they do.
I don't like Han and Leia being separated and a divorced couple and doing that cold Ghostbusters 2 bullshit, only to,
Yeah.
maybe it would be less of an impact when he died. Actually, it would have been more of an impact when he died. But I don't need to see Luke, Han, and Leia together because as people grow, they follow different paths that lead them to separate places. So I was okay with it. I got to see all three of them in a Star Wars movie, and that was fine enough for me. Now, my assumption at the end of this was Luke was off at the training academy, and I was going to see him training young little Jedis.
And
That didn't happen.
right. I agree because I didn't know what I ended up with. Where are we going with this? We just saw him at the end of the.
Leia gives up her princess status to just be known as General Leia. Didn't understand that. I got
Yeah.
the whole Han Solo thing. That's not the way that I would have written it in the script.
Yeah.
But, okay, look, guys, y'all are obsessed with Leia Poppins.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. She said that in the theater. I was watching that. I don't think it was I don't know if the missus went with me or the oldest kid. I actually shouted that out into the theater. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. From Guardians of the Galaxy. That. But you asked the question, and honestly, that's where I think. To me, it ceased to be a Star Wars movie for that one thing. It had the bells and whistles, the shiny paint job, but it missed the heart and soul of it with not having at least one meaningful scene with the gang back together. That's
And
the
see, for
problem.
me, it felt like a Star Wars movie. And I got to watch a bunch of kids watch this movie. Now, remember, these are kids that have no idea who Luke and Han and Leia are. This is their first introduction into Star Wars. And I looked at their faces, and their
Mm-hmm.
faces looked like mine the first time I saw a Star Wars
Yeah.
movie. That made it a Star Wars movie for me.
Yeah.
Where the problem comes in is God only knows what the original plan was, but the outrage of psycho fans is too much like the original Star Wars. You need to do something different. Is where it started to fall.
Well, it kind of was. I mean, an honest, but I do, but then again, here's the thing: is I'm not dismissing the point there. I do, okay, but not everybody's psycho Star Wars fan that says that. Okay, that's one thing we got to understand.
No, you got to understand. Like they went balls to the walls.
No, I've seen them. I've heard them.
What did Disney do? What did Disney do in the second one? Gave them exactly what they wanted. Something that wasn't exactly like Star Wars. And then what did they do? What was the next thing they bitched about?
What the problem is, they never had a plan. You don't turn the movie over to Ruin Johnson to just screw it up. And if you're going to be that simple, because
you do know they gave it to this.
But
this
the problem is Disney. Yeah.
Trust me, that was not the original plan. I know from people from the inside. That was not the original plan.
My thing then is, if you're going to be that shallow to let fans to intimidate you when you're this big company and stuff, that's shame on you. You shouldn't. You know what was going to happen with what they did with The Last Jedi. I think that they turn around and let a rogue director do what the hell he wants to and whatever he's done while they sit back and laugh. They thought the whole thing is and I've heard streamers and other people talk about this, they thought they could just take the word Star Wars, slap a label on it, and it would sell and everybody eat it up. Well, guess what? No. The older fans, the people that have been around 40, 50 years, the ones that actually had the money to spend the money on this stuff said, screw you, we're out. We don't want this. This is not Star Wars. Instead of giving them one bone, which was so, and I think this is beyond the generations, even the younger people that have come up watching the movies, that not having the gang back together to some meaningful degree really is a sticking point with so many that just really can't overcome. I will say that there is some good stuff that they've introduced. I like Bobu Frick, like Buddy mentions in there, but I just my point is, you do not do what they did. If their intent was that we have no plan, we're going to show the fans that spoke out, we'll give you what you want, that's shame on you, because you just let people, you just destroy your own franchise with, and want to blame it on other people, because the second
not
movie
saying it's all, look, Dadman, you're making it sound like I'm saying it's all the fans' fault. I'm not saying it's all the fans' fault. My point is this. The Force Awakens, which I love The Force Awakens. Yeah, it has some flaws. Like, I would have done the Han Solo death scene a whole different way, especially for the impact that becomes. And this is why I don't think there was not an original plan with the original Star Wars trilogy. Whatever the second one was is not what it was originally supposed to be, because I would have handled Han Solo that Kylo ended up accidentally killing him as he was taking him back to his mom right before they got on the Millennium Falcon, which is why he has such a hard time shooting the ship that his mom's on. That's the way how I would have done it. We do have fan art of them. Yep. And I got plenty of pictures of all three of them together.
Yeah, the
outcry of a lot of fans saying that it was too much like Star Wars, and they wanted something new and they wanted different.
Okay, I agree with you.
Where Disney fails is yes, they listened to that outcry and said, okay, hold up, wait a minute, let's see what we can do, because here we are. We have this big fucking thing that people love and adore, and they don't want to see the same thing, so they want something new. They want something fresh. Let's try to give the fans of Star Wars what they want. They do that, and these same fans come back at them and go, now it's not. This has nothing to do with Star Wars. It's nothing like it.
But Amanda, okay, The Force Awakens, I understand the complaints of how people turned around with that, and I agree, because that didn't even register to me till I started hearing people talk about that. But outside the getting rid of Han Solo, I was okay with it. It was an enjoyable movie. Hey, Meg. Hey, stunning. But, you could have gone. But see, my point, though, is if they really let fan reaction decide how they went with the second one, shame on them. They deserve what they get for destroying their own franchise, because you don't let people run your business like that. You don't let people do it to that extent.
I see what you're trying to say, but you have got to understand from their point of view. As a company, yes, you do. As a company,
well, you know what? You so basically screw the old people that had love for the franchise, that would go spend money because there's so many other interests. You got Transformers, you've got all these, you got Ghostbusters, you've got Turtles. There's all these different franchises out there now that are competing for attention. So why do you automatically throw the old part out?
I'm not saying that it was right that what they did. Yeah. And I think it was a flaw on their part. But as a business owner, I can also understand where they're coming from. And I think I'm blaming both the fans and Disney is my point. Because when they got the backlash again, what they ended up doing is they brought back Rian Johnson. Do you know what the stipulation was for that?
Oh, you mean they brought back Jar Jar, right?
Do you know what the conditions were to get that third movie out?
I'm not sure.
He had full creative control. That entire third movie is nothing but him. They have nothing to do with it, unfortunately.
But who in their right mind ever goes to make a trilogy and does not at least have a beginning to end over 3 movies at least planned out? Why do you independently just
here's the thing?
Maybe
they did. But sometimes when you're pushed back in a corner and you're like, okay, well, you're out. We need this new guy. And this guy's like, well, I don't want to do this. Can I do this? Well, that changes it a little bit. And then the next thing you know, sometimes things get out of control. I blame both the fans and Disney for the failure of the sequel.
I'm not as sympathetic to the company, though, because I tell you what, they've had no problem replacing Patty Jenkins from Rogue Squadron. They've had no problem firing other directors for other projects along the way. I mean, they've shown that with quote creative differences, they'll get rid of directors that won't play ball. Why the hell did they do that? The same person that runs it said they had nothing to work from after all these years. Then you let Ruin Johnson come in and truly run rogue and go out their way. And he was also trolling the fans while the movie was being promoted, while it was coming up. Even Mark Hamill could see it coming. And he tried to warn people, but it was like, why do you go poke the bear? Why do you go? And that's the biggest problem I've got with what they did in that situation. The first Force Awakens, fine. Was it ideal for me? No, but you know what? I had ignored some of the fans I agree with and stuff on things.
You know what I
enjoyed the movie except for one thing. But why do you let any director or any reaction to any fans dictate the way you take a movie in the second case of what they did? And if you did it just to spite the fans and say, here you go, well, don't be surprised when your movies then start losing money. Solo lost money. They've had less and less money over the years.
Solo is a good movie. I just don't like it as a Star Wars movie.
I was okay with Solo except for that half guy cut in half guy with his red lightsaber. I will never like that. But it was not a bad movie.
Then you wouldn't have liked George Lucas's sequel then.
Oh, probably not. I'm sure I won't.
Do you know what George Lucas's sequel was supposed to be to Star Wars?
No.
Darth Maul was going to be the big bad, and it was going to be about Leia and Maul.
And I would have not liked it. I would have had severe problems with it. You killed the guy off. Don't kill the character off if you know.
But he brought it back.
I don't care. You're saying he's like, we're back to the circuit. We're back to that again. He did things that great Sith Lords could not do.
You brought back Boba Fett. You were okay with that?
Because he fought his way out of the Rancor. You're getting digested over thousands of years. He had the Beskar armor.
Digested, bitch is dead.
But he had the Beskar armor, which protected him.
Oh, geez. No, because that Beskar armor is gone now. That would have been fucking eaten. Boba Fett died.
No, he didn't. No, he defeated the monster from Dune.
Oh, dear God.
You love that popcorn bucket, don't you?
I've seen I have not seen the remake of Dune. I've seen the original, and I've read the book.
Yeah.
Which, God, what a book. This is what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Am I a fan of the sequels? The first one. I like the first one. I like The Force Awakens. And I'm going to say it. The child in me loves taking my BB-8 interactive toy and watching it with it because he reacts to the stuff happening on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's adorable. And I just love doing that. It's like having a child. I live through my BB-8 watching the movie. I did like some of the concepts of the second one, and I just absolutely hate the last one. Solo, a Star Wars story, it's okay. It's way too over heavy in the fan service, in my opinion. Like, fuck off already. Like, I don't need to know how he got his last name. Fuck off. That is stupid. The Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Darth Vader scene.
Yeah. Well, see, that's one that I've heard people say it breaks lore because the way he comes in there and stuff, but I'm okay with it. It's but I'm okay with it. I loved it. The music,
I personally,
the red lightsaber, yeah.
I know a lot of people love Rogue One. It's one of their favorite Star Wars movies. I find it pretty dull and boring. I don't really I'm not connected with any of the characters. But man, that Darth Vader scene, I gotta go change my underwear.
Yeah.
Every time I see that scene, I come everywhere.
Oh boy.
Rogue One was good because all the characters I don't care about died in the end. Stunning.
Well, he's right. I tell you that give him some credit for that because for what they did with that. That was one of the better movies. Actually, probably the best of the Star Wars movies. So, that realism, the fact that everybody died, it wasn't a happy ending. That was a good change on it, And even then, they got away.
I had a crush on Krennic, the bad guy with the white cape. I thought he was kind of sexy. I'm like, I might leave my Vader for that man.
I'm not in that old gray-haired dude, so you can have him.
Excuse me, I'm kind of gray-haired. It's okay.
Oh no, Jen Erso was kind of cute though.
She's cute.
Yeah. Oh man! Don't forget tonight at 9:00 it's Smash Pass or Bop or whatever. It's Do Bang and what is it? What is it? Bang.
Boop, marry, kill.
Boop. What is boop?
Fuck.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But since I don't want to say the F word too many times on YouTube, every time I pull up a video or a picture, because dude, I'm not trying to be Limp Bizkit in the Chocolate Starfish song and say it 26 times in a row.
All right. I
like the Sassy Robot and the Blind Guy were cool. Everyone else was trash.
Yep.
Don't care. Krennic was sexy. I like the cape.
Oh man, so Stunning is. I wonder if Stunning's still on the road.
Yeah,
Stunning,
I asked if he could play tonight, and he said that he was out of town. He said he purposely went out of town because he doesn't want to have to marry another lightsaber dude.
Right. I got him. I don't either. But hey,
he was like, it's Star Wars Day. I gotta go. He didn't.
Hey, but you know what? But Stunning, there's a lot of programming today for you today, so you won't have to be bored in a hotel room. With Amanda tonight at 9. Of course, the missus and I are doing something at 5 with that Lego build. So, oh man, that sucks to have to work over the weekend. Working
on the weekend, working. I'm just breaking down each of the movies. Phantom Menace. I like the pod racing. I like the lightsaber battle with the lightsaber battle at the end. He's got to work.
Oh man, well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, or if you get back, watch the replay. So, I like the foreshadowing in the Phantom Menace.
But you're going to be with us tonight, Kitty. So this should be fun. And Agent, I would, but I've already got all the slots filled. Sorry, buddy. I literally filled up every slot that StreamYard will let me have.
I tell you, I do like the foreshadowing, the dark, the contrast light, dark, the way it was shot. I like the way they revealed Maul and things like that. So, that type of stuff.
I cannot find one redeeming quality in Attack of the Clones. I can't. I cannot stand that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get your picks are gonna be the Emperor, the Rancor, and Jabba. There, those are your 3 picks.
Wow.
There's the redeeming quality for Attack of the Clones right there.
Yep. Exactly.
And Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, I liked it, but I found it a little anticlimactic in terms of it had to be what it had to be. We knew what was going to happen. We knew what had to happen. In some ways, it was let me down a little bit. I like when they went on to the Emperor, but but Sidious. But I thought that he took out 2 of the Jedi way too quick. But I think it shows to his power, though.
I think Anakin's fall was too rushed. The acting and the dialogue is still shit. I don't know why everybody quotes the whole sand thing, and I'm like, there is a worse line in Revenge of the Sith.
I care for you. I care for you.
No, No. She's on the balcony and he's in their bedroom. And he goes, "You're so beautiful." And she goes, "That's because I'm so in love." And he goes, "No, that's because I'm so in love with you." No one talks like that. No one. Fuck off.
Tell us how you really feel, Amanda.
Like, I'm just like, from that moment, I was already pissed.
Yeah. No,
And
I
then
understand.
and then I'm going, okay, can we get to it? Okay, he instantly turned. Cool, great. You're breaking my heart. She died from a broken heart. Luke, Leia. Okay, we already had the names picked out. That's great. Oh, cool. Yoda's gonna fight the Emperor. Oh, Yoda ran out like a little bitch because he threw a fucking Senate chair at him. Oh, look, we're gonna watch Vader fight Obi-Wan, but he's still in his Anakin body. This will be great because they're both equally matched. So how do you want to take the first flip, or do you want me? And let's twirl our lightsabers, and then we'll do a couple of shoo-shoos, and then we'll continue our choreography. But I got the high ground.
Yeah, it's all about the high ground. It's all about high ground.
I'm sorry. I know some people love that movie. They think it's the best out of. I have more highlights in the first one.
I agree. Like I said, I think Revenge of the Sith just had to be where it had to be, and unfortunately, it felt like that they did rush a lot of it.
And it only gets worse because I've seen the Clone Wars, which handles those two movies so much better.
You like the Clone Wars?
I love the Clone Wars.
I hated the Clone Wars. Wait. The animated series. Which one? The Disney version or the 2000 whatever with the?
I like both. And the one that played on a Cartoon Network, the one that actually went through the series.
Yeah, that's the one that people equate as the better of the Clone Wars. That actually gets it right.
I like both. But I do like that series, and it handles those two movies so much better. It just handles it so much better. His slow descent, giving him a Padawan and watching how his feelings just interfere with everything. Yeah, I didn't think either one. Disney didn't get a hold of it too.
I know the 2003 one was definitely not, but I thought
the original set of.
I'm confusing with Rebels, I think. But I thought some of the later seasons of Clone Wars were on Disney. That's why I thought that they were part of it.
Well, remember, they own Star Wars now, but Disney did give us a couple of episodes to finish it off where we are sitting with Ahsoka Tano after she leaves the Jedi Order.
Of course we are. Every road leads to Ahsoka Tano too nowadays.
Okay, if you really watch the Clone Wars, it is about her and Anakin's relationship. So it does make sense. Since we already saw Anakin turn, they actually used the lines for the movies, and she hears his struggle. I'll be honest, I cried watching that. Yeah. All I could go is, I gotta pee. Can you turn already? Let's be done. Mm-hmm. There it is. Season 7.
Yeah.
I cried like a little bitch. Yeah. I do like Disney's Rebels. I enjoyed that very much. Even if they did take Thrawn and made him their own thing, the justice that they did to him. Oh my God. Whew. Oh baby. Oh, I might even leave Krennic for Thrawn. Oh baby.
It's the red eyes.
It's his demeanor. He's so suave. Oh baby.
Well, how do you compare that Thrawn to what they came up with this in the Ahsoka series? Who looked like Commander Data?
I don't have Disney Plus anymore, so I haven't been able to watch the Ahsoka series.
Oh, okay. Well, that's one for you to compare and contrast there. See what you think between the two.
I liked The Mandalorian when I got to watch it. Boba Fett was so boring. Mm-hmm. Obi-Wan was okay, and that's all that I've watched. And then let's go into the original trilogy, because that's the last one. Amanda, I hear Amanda wears a thong when she watches Rebels.
That's good.
So now the original trilogy.
Mhm.
As a kid, they were all perfect. As an adult, I love The Empire Strikes Back. It's such a perfect movie for me. It has everything I could ever want. I still will always have a wonderful place for Return of the Jedi. It's fun and impactful. Even the slow parts don't feel that slow. We get to the Ewoks, and it's little people like me beating a big bad empire, and I will always support that.
Mhm.
But Star Wars? That shit's boring as hell as an adult.
What? I don't agree. I love it. The music,
It's so
all the
the
memories come
music's
back.
great, but it's like I'm bored. It's slow. I'm sorry, it's a little slow. The beginning starts off big and bad. Darth Vader walks in. Cool. Oh, we're gonna talk. Okay, let's get into some more stuff. Oh my god, Tangy, shut the fuck up, whiny boy. I hate, and it could have to do with the fact that I really hate Luke Skywalker in the first movie. I hate him.
You
Like
know what?
I wanna stick his head in a fucking tub of blue milk and watch him drown.
Well, it's funny because I always was a Han Solo fan as a kid. I liked Han Solo better than Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, let's go with this is the best Star Wars ever created. Let's just go with that.
Okay, but to your point though, I always liked Han Solo better than Luke Skywalker. It wasn't until actually,
Return.
no, actually, I think even further than that for me. When I started reading the expanded universe and reading more about what Luke Skywalker was as a person, as a character, how he even matured a lot more, that's when I started having a deeper respect for Luke Skywalker as a character.
Right there. Yes. Yes. The Lego games. Dude, the Lego games are great. By the way, did you know in the Star Wars Lego games, if you play as the slave Leia, and I don't know what it is on keyboard, but if you have a PlayStation, it's the circle button. She will belly dance in her slave outfit.
Wow, that's weird.
It is funny as hell.
Oh, I bet. I mean, that thing looks that sounds funny. Sounds really cool, hot.
She does this little thing and then she twirls around in a circle. And she just belly dances. Yes, really. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Because
Yes.
I 100% completed those. You like a Mundy guy? The guy who has permission from the Jedi Council to go sleep with everybody because his race is almost extinct. Oh, lucky
Right.
him.
My God, I never thought of him like that. He did have a different cranium, but
Penis head Jedi gets to freak off with other women because his species is like almost extinct. So he is like the only one from the Jedi Order who's allowed to go pew 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 with his little other lightsaber.
So does that mean he has two lightsabers on his body then? If his head's
I did say his other lightsaber.
Wow, he can reproduce from his head and the other one. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still have appreciation for Star Wars.
Oh my God!
But
Right, Kitty! Oh my gosh!
She's not lying though.
I just can't imagine her saying that. Oh no! Wow. She's been hanging around you, Amanda.
Dad.
Yep.
She's gonna be on the panel tonight at 9.
Oh man! Oh gosh! Oh, I'm gonna be blushing big time tonight.
Stunning can see it. Why is it everybody else here can you can't?
Because Kitty's this nice young person and all full of.
I mean, I know exactly what she's like.
Oh well.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to slowly wrap up and just tell you my feelings on the Star Wars movies real quickly. Because Dadman has to leave here really soon. I've seen Riot's Dark Side once before. Kitty, stop bending over in front of Stunning. But no, it's just I don't know. It comes off a lot slower than the other ones. So that's my stance.
And
Empire's still best.
that's fine. That's it's all good. That's I do know that its pacing is interesting at times. But see, that's how I was with Empire at times. I hated the whole Bespin scene and stuff. I found that too talky and stuff. So I can appreciate that. So, but I think I think ultimately the best of the three to me is Empire. But there's more Jedi that I don't like as much, that I find boring. But I love the fights. I love the Ewoks. I love the battle scenes in Jedi, and they're all great. But I would think head to start to finish, Empire is the best of the three movies. But I'll always be partial to Star Wars though, because of my seeing it with my grandparents.
I am not trying to do Jar Jar and Bib Fortuna, and it's a whole different thing, which I do have to get. Hold on. You really shouldn't let me know things, Kitty, because I use them against you eventually on my panel.
Yeah, the 9 p.m. panel. That's the Bang Shuka Wow Wow and all that stuff panel. Bang, what's that?
Boop, Marry, Kill.
Right.
Star Wars Edition tonight at 9:00, right here on Twitch and YouTube, AGP channel. Kitty messed up because she just told me who her favorite Jedi is, so I'm going to put that into the rotation somewhere.
Wow.
And
why do you do that to people? I mean, I'm going to. Do you think I'm going to release the chains on you anytime soon if you treat people like that? No.
Too late. See the name? It's written down.
Insert Luke falling off the tower or Darth Vader. No.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
The Jedi, that sucks. Kitty, you got to remember, dark side, baby. Dark side. Yeah. It's my job to be evil. All right, guys. Well, Dadman has to get going because what are you doing tonight before you come back on my channel?
At 5 p.m. in about a little less than 2 hours, the Missus and I are going to be streaming on both of our channels and her on her Twitch channel. It'll be a block party with the Death Star, the Lego Death Star trench run that she will be building while I'm talking Star Wars and being my debonair and charming self. And we have some memes available. And hey, I didn't say sexy. I mean, that would have been too much for everybody on today. They couldn't handle my sexiness. But hey, come by, have fun, hang out with us, watch the Mrs. build, have some laughs and everything else. And then tonight, of course, at 9:00, we'll be back on with Amanda for Boop, Marry, Kill. Ow, God, my ears. I thought you said boop all day. Okay, I didn't say boop. Okay, bop.
Boop. Yeah, well, actually, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I thought you mispronounced it.
Oh,
sorry, I'm so used to correcting you. So, yes, you were right. It's Boop, Marry, Kill.
Dang, I get punished for getting it right, Okay, so we'll be back with Amanda at 9. But yeah, catch us at 5:00 with the Missus and hang out with us and have some fun, and we'll talk some Star Wars and watch the Missus as she builds. And hopefully this won't be too bad of a build, but we've had the set for a long time. But that's what's next for us.
Yay! And of course, you can follow Dadman everywhere just by typing in that name right there, because he's on Twitch, he's on YouTube, and he's on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. And the Mrs. channel, I'm not where I can type it in.
Yes.
Mrs.
No, it's all right. Mrs., I'll make sure that her links are actually in the description of the video so you guys can find her as well.
Yes.
So I will fix that as soon as we're done, and then I'm getting out of this costume. I'm taking the puppy potty, then I'm going to go potty, then I'm going to get something to eat, and then I'm going to finish working on the 9:00 stream. So yes, tonight at 9:00 right here on Twitch and YouTube on the AGP channel. Join me, Dadman, Mrs., Riot, since they're all been here, plus a few others as we play Boop, Marry, Kill, Star Wars Edition. It's going to get hectic. It's going to get crazy. Things are going to be said. Remember, this is going to be rated D for Deadpool because it is going to be bad, baby. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, we're going to watch Dadman squirm every time Mrs. says someone's
Yep.
hot. So it's totally going to be worth it. On that note, Dadman, thank you for joining me on Star Wars Day. Thank you, chat, for joining me on Star Wars Day. May the Fourth be with you, and we'll see you all on the next one. Say goodbye, Dadman.
Bye, Dadman.
Oh, dear God. Shoot me.